Hi, I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com, and welcome to How to Stop Obsessive Cleaning. 6 steps to stop obsessive cleaning, controlling your life. A woman joked to me once that she wished her husband could develop an addictive fascination with tidying. And could I, she wondered, help implant a mania for cleanliness in her husband using the dark arts of hypnosis? And she was half kidding, I guess, but of course she'd hate it if her husband really became obsessed with cleaning, and she really would. So here's a case in point of how obsessive cleaning ruins lives. So Shirley, who was a client of mine, was really held captive by her obsession. And Shirley came to see me around a year ago, and she said, I scrub, clean, polish, rinse, vacuum, shine, dust, and scrape. Then I start all over again. My whole life revolves around keeping our house clean. She had the haunted, exhausted, dark patches under the eye look common to all people suffering obsession. And I became painfully aware of the little dust in my office and the books left on a desk and unwashed coffee mugs and stuff like that. But she didn't seem to care too much about that. And she said, I don't judge other people. I don't mind other people's houses not being pristine. In a way, I like it. It's just that I've always been obsessed with cleaning my house. So I sort of relaxed, and this therapy is working. I feel better already, I thought. But it was, of course, about her overcoming her difficulties. It was great to be clean, of course, and tidy and organized and proud of your environment. All that is great. But anything taken to extremes starts to backlash and destroy peace of mind, relationships, and health. There should be a balance in all things. So how does obsessive cleaning impact lives? The causes and consequences of obsessive cleaning. So why might someone clean obsessively? Shirley told me that she'd been brought up to believe that cleanliness was next to godliness. And in a sense, it was almost as if she'd been brainwashed by that message, as opposed to, say, being charitable or honest, which I've always felt were better contenders for God proximity. So her parents instilled in her the idea that good people, successful people, keep a clean home. And I said to her, let's not talk for a moment about what you think. Let's talk about what you feel. Do you feel, say, that a successful marriage can be measured by the cleanliness, the tidiness of a home? Does that feel right to you? Now, this wasn't some glib piece of off-the-shelf psychobabble theory. I'd already noticed how she looked fleetingly, despairingly every time she mentioned her husband, and they didn't have any children. Every time she mentioned him, she kind of looked upset for a few seconds. She wavered, looked a little upset. With me, it's not a fear of germs and contamination. It's more a feeling of needing to do something to make things work, she said. So the good news? Shirley started to change her life. She brought balance, even love, back into her existence and started to feel spontaneous, released from her self-imposed pristine prison. But how did she do that? How did we form an escape plan? What steps did we take to help her live more freely? So if you clean obsessively, here's a blueprint of what helps Shirley and others overcome obsessive cleaning. So step 1, stop the obsessive cleaning in its tracks by relaxing first. Any form of obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, thrives on stress and anxiety. The activity is carried out as an unconscious attempt at assuaging stress. Perhaps there's a superstitious sense that if only I can clean enough, I can avert disaster or make things better. And sometimes the cleaning itself may serve the purpose of exhausting the person into a state of much longed for peace of mind and body. But there are easier ways to relax and better ways of actually solving problems. Okay. So Shirley recounted how she'd spend the whole day cleaning their 2-bedroom home whilst her husband was at work. 8 hours of furiously cleaning an already spotless house, finishing, then starting over again and again and again, seeking a perfection that was never found. She'd be happy for a little while, but then go back to it. During our first session together, I told her on no account must she clean any less yet. Okay, don't cut down yet, but I did teach her to relax. So she told me she couldn't recall the last time she'd felt so rested after the session. I gave her a relaxation audio to listen to and told her to do this before she started cleaning in the morning, to listen to the relaxation. And you know what? It got her feeling so relaxed at the start of the day, she found herself feeling less like frantically cleaning, but she still did, partly because I'd asked her to carry on doing exactly the same. She still cleaned, but the intensity and need to do it had been discharged to some extent through relaxing first. So if you see the written form of this article, then there's a free taster on that kind of relaxation, so you can enjoy listening to that and relax before you clean. Step 2, break up the obsessive routine. Withdrawing from obsessive cleaning needs to be done in a way not completely dissimilar to withdrawing from a drug habit, bit by bit. We need to taper off the habit. Stopping cold can feel too overwhelming, and after all, some cleaning is desirable. So Shirley was breaking her obsessive pattern by relaxing deeply before she got going on it. Next, I suggested that she start cleaning 20 minutes later than usual. Then the order in which she cleaned changed. I even suggested hypnotically that sometimes she'd forget to clean something altogether, remember later, and then decide just to leave it for the next day. Okay, so we started breaking up the pattern. She felt an almost delicious thrill of naughty delight when she later described this. So very gradually, we just started to play around with the old rigid pattern, playing around in the way you might play with a tight knot until you find it loosening and gaining slack. Think about how you can just get a little more creative with your cleaning habit, changing the order or the time you do it or the time you start doing it, gently starting to loosen its grip before stopping the pattern. Step 3, look at your wider life. Obsessive cleaning may be symptomatic of wider anxieties. Once these anxieties are put to bed, so to speak, the obsessive cleaning may diminish through lack of fuel. Shirley described the marriage as a marriage. Okay, I think we'll say her. Shirley described her marriage as devoid of life or warmth, as an icy tundra. Her husband, it seemed, didn't want to talk to her or even appreciate her in any way. He constantly criticized her, and she in turn found herself wanting to please and appease him, constantly treading on perfectly polished eggshells all the time and really worrying about that. We worked on helping Shirley improve her assertiveness and speak to her husband more openly about what she needed from him. So as a result, she felt less inclined to clean compulsively. And he began to talk to her to suggest they go out, and things started to move in a direction that would meet her and his real life needs. Okay, the cleaning was like a fake way of trying to meet a need. Are there wider anxieties you suspect may be powering your obsessive cleaning? If so, then check out some of the audio downloads at hypnosisdownloads.com. Step 4. Do you have a fear of contamination? Sometimes, and quite often in fact, obsessive cleaning is carried out as an attempt at assuaging fear of contamination. But the feeling is that no matter how much you vacuum or polish and scrub, there's still dirt somewhere, even if you can't see it, the invisible, all-pervading enemy. I don't want to be too symbolic and psychobabblish about it, but we could view Shirley as desperately trying to scrub clean a marriage that wasn't working. So the trouble was, because she was trying to mend something by focusing in the wrong place, nothing could ever be clean enough, because of course it wasn't really solving the issues that needed addressing. If you feel obsessive cleaning is wholly or partly maintained through a fear of contamination, it might be a great idea to seek out help from a solution-focused therapist skilled in the use of therapeutic hypnosis who will help you overcome this fixation. Step 5, focus on what you're really afraid of. What really drives you to clean obsessively? Sure, it might be a fear of contamination, a sense of wanting to make an impossibly perfect home, but let's go a little deeper. Think for a moment now and strongly imagine, if you like, or even close your eyes if it helps, not cleaning. Just imagine not cleaning, perhaps even just for a day. Seriously think about the reality of not cleaning. Okay. And what does it feel like? If it makes you feel a little anxious, then it's anxiety that's been driving the OCD. Okay. And once you feel calm with the thought of not cleaning, or not cleaning so much, I should say, you've taken many steps along the road to recovery. Really get into the habit of focusing deep within your mind on not cleaning and feeling relaxed about that. Okay. Once you've cleaned sufficiently, of course, which might be twice a week. Of course, you need to clean a bit, but you also need a life. So by starting to relax with not always cleaning, you'll relinquish time in which to build opportunity for real life satisfactions. Step 6, get yourself a life. Shirley started to clean less and bit by bit clawing back her life, slowly at first, then finding herself starting to use the freed up time constructively like spare capacity until it felt natural to clean 5 times a week, then 3 times a week, and then just once. And her husband was unsettled, the system was changing, but he coped. As I said, he made efforts to build up a life with his wife. They started doing things together again. She needed other stuff to do. She did a course, got a job, met new friends, joined a new club, started doing sport, and she still took pride in her house, and it was still a lovely, clean house. But as she told me, I have a life now, not just a cleaning schedule. If there's a sock lying around or the carpet needs vacuuming, it can wait until I've finished doing something more interesting. And who wants people to have nothing more to say at their funeral than, "She kept a wonderful home, she polished well"? So getting over compulsive cleaning doesn't happen overnight, although it can do on occasion. But when you find the doorway out of the compulsion and work at escaping from the compulsion, and the doorway is closer than you think, you'll always be pleased that you escaped. So I hope you found that useful, and if you did, please hit like and subscribe. And if you want to hear when my next video is published, hit the notification bell below. I'm Mark Tyrrell of Uncommon Knowledge and hypnosisdownloads.com. And if you'd like to try some of my personal development products, including Stop Obsessive Cleaning, head over to hypnosisdownloads.com and take a look around. And thanks for watching.